Now we have the topic that is the abnormal molar mass. What happens? See, when some ionic compound it is dissolved in water, we get to see that either it breaks. Sometimes, suppose I take an example AB as my ionic compound. So what happens when sometimes we dissolve in water, they get dissociated into ions. So that means the dissociation may occur, right? Likewise, in certain ionic compounds, what we get to see, in certain compounds I must say, like I have ethanoic acid, when we mix ethanoic acid with ethanoic acid, what we get to see that they actually get bonded to each other. See, like this. So this is the formula for this thing, the acetic acid. So when the this thing, it is mixed with certain kind of you can say, or its own molecules, it get bonded to them like this. That means it forms a kind of hydrogen bond. So here what happens, like we take an example in terms of KCl. So let it see KCl. So what happens? Like this. This is my ionic compound. So what happens? See, if earlier KCl was 1, but after what time, like what we get to see after dissolving water, that it become 2 particles now. Likewise, here the particle of ethanoic acid was 1, but after mixing we get 2 particles as a result. So what happens that when you are just mixing them, you can say the number of particles are getting altered due to either association or due to dissociation. And as we know that colligative properties are depend upon the number of solute particles. So that means if this number of solute particle is going to change, so obviously it is going to have impact on the colligative property. So likewise, in that case you can say the calculated the colligative property doesn't match with the the experimental one, right? That means, or you can say the expected one, right? It doesn't match because actually the particles otherwise either gets dissociated or gets associated. So that means it is going to affect the colligative property. Like suppose I take an example, if I have this elevation in boiling point, in this case what happened, like if I say that it depends upon number of solute particles. So if the number of particle increases to 2 times, so that means this elevation boiling point will also become 2 times. And likewise here what happens, if it is getting reduced to half, that means like in this 2 particles combine to form 1 particle, right? So that means they are getting halved, so that means it is getting halved. So that means we can say that either the dissociation or association can affect